Officer, remove that man immediately. Senator Grassley, we did stop the clock there, so it did not take from your time.
Oh, thank you. It's people always say I have the ability to turn people on.
Oh my goodness, that was a good line. Here with us now, Republican Senator from Iowa, ranking member of the Senate Finance Committee and member of the Senate Judiciary Committee, Senator Chuck Grassley. Would you like to explain that one, sir?
Well, I guess when you have those sort of uprisings during a committee meeting, what you want to do is get people feeling comfortable when you start out again, and I think Senator Leahy did that, and I thought I would just liven it up a little bit.
Yes, you did. You did a good job. Well, thanks for being on the show this morning. Let's talk about Sonia Sotomayor, the judge. Do you think she's off to a good start?
Well, she got off to a good start in her opening statement on Monday when she said that she was going to have fidelity for the law. And, you know, she knows what her biggest weakness is, and that isn't so much the cases she's decided as it is a lot of speeches and a lot of writing she's done where she's brought this empathy and these various statements about a wise Latino, et cetera, into her background. And that raises a lot of questions among people that want judicial restraint on the Supreme Court and not have judicial activism, and I'm one of those, and she knows she has to overcome that. So she has made very, very many statements yesterday to back up that fidelity for the law, because she's got to overcome this burden she brought to the hearing in which she left the impression that she was very much a judicial activist.
Senator Grassley, Willie Geist here. The wise Latina woman line has gotten so much attention, but do you really believe, based on her record, not on that one comment, but on her record, that she is an activist judge?
I believe she's very much an activist judge, and I think she pointed that out yesterday, for instance, in the Didden case that I asked her about. She said that they were waiting around for the Kelo case to come out, but then when she got around to answering my question, she more or less said the Kelo case didn't have anything to do with her decision in the Didden case. And then this wise Latino case or issue that you just brought up, you know, she said it was a bad choice of words probably half a dozen times, but she still has not said that that attitude that's expressed in that statement is flat out wrong, where I thought that Senator Lindsey Graham tried to make very clear that if he said that I'm a white male and I'm going to make more wise decisions than perhaps a Hispanic or Latino woman, that he would have been blackballed for doing that. And so we've got to get around to the point where she realizes that that sort of an attitude is outright wrong, and it's a divisive in our society. And what we're trying to get through the rule of law is to bring America together, not to divide America.
All right, Mike Barnacle.
Hey, Senator, it seems to be the consensus that Judge Sotomayor is going to sail through the Senate and be confirmed as a Supreme Court justice. So let's skip to something that might not sail through the Senate, and that's health care. Now, I think everybody watching this program, everybody walking around drawing a breath, knows who's going to pay for health care costs. It's going to be the American taxpayer. My question to you is, how are we going to pay for it?
Well, you know, first of all, a lot of economic health economists in the health area point out that there's a tremendous amount of waste within healthcare. Now, I'm not answering your question that that's the only source of revenue, but you got to realize that when there's a lot of waste through the perverse incentives that a doctor gets paid because he sees you, not necessarily between the quality. When we reverse the perverse incentives for a doctor to tell you that I want to see you every day and twice on Sunday to quality, we're going to get more for our money, and we've got to move in that direction, and our legislation does move us in that direction. There are other things that are more controversial, but you know, another thing health economists refer to is the subsidization of health insurance, particularly at the high end, that tends to bring about increased use of medical care maybe when it's not needed, and drives up the cost of medical care. And there's nothing wrong with that kind of medical care, but why should the taxpayers be subsidizing it? They say that's the #1 way to drive down health care costs.
All right. Senator Grassley, thank you very much for coming on the show this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And coming up next, Congressman John Shattuck, the man with 4 BlackBerries. He's introduced new health care. 4.